Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video there's quite a few topics to delve into. I am going to be negotiating with you about Ansu Fati from Barcelona, because a bit more additional information is updated about him. Then I'm going to be giving you some latest news regarding Ramsey. Then I am going to be talking with you a bit more about Ole Gunnar Solsjaker and that, you know. So they're the things I'm going to negotiate with you about on this video today. But we'll start with the news on Ansu Fati from Barcelona. So according to recent reports, Manchester United are planning to submit a second bid for Ansu Fati. Of course, earlier on this week, we had an £89 million bid turned down for the player. Now, Ansu Fati has a release clause of around £150 million. But reportedly, if Ansu Fati signs a professional contract with Barcelona, his buyout clause will rise to £360 million. Now, don't forget the Barcelona director recently denied that Barcelona had held talks with Manchester United regarding the transfer of Ansu Fati and all of that. He has got a contract with Barcelona until 2022, but we are actually seeing him as an alternative to Jadon Sancho. He's obviously predominantly a left winger, and he is only at the age of 17 is the player. Now obviously this has been his first season in Barcelona's senior squad. He did make his senior debut last year. He became the second youngest player to make his senior debut for Barcelona. He did make his senior debut in Barcelona's 5-2 win against Real Betis. But actually, overall, he has been at Barcelona for several years. I think this is now his 8th season at Barcelona. Obviously, he did join Barcelona in 2012. Barcelona did get him from Sevilla. I think before he was at Sevilla, he was at Herrera, if I am correct. So yeah, so we have been in for him this week. I thought, £89 million might have been enough. But I presume that the second offer is going to be higher than the 89 million that we recently offered. But actually, Barcelona have come out and give their overarching view on it. And they said they've got no intentions of offloading, Ansu Fati and all of that. They've got no intentions of offloading the player. So yeah, so that is the latest news regarding him. So he's one of our alternatives to Jadon Sancho, but there has been a few alternatives to Jadon Sancho. Like I mentioned, Figo Almeida, he's been one of them. There were stories coming out the other week, regarding Rabbi Matondo from Schalke and that. But there you go. But we are still looking to get Jadon Sancho on the board. I was reading reports regarding Jadon Sancho yesterday, and he does actually say now that Liverpool are leading the race for the player. But Liverpool's move on Jadon Sancho hinges on Liverpool selling Sadio Mane. So if they can sell Sadio Mane, then they will go in for Jadon Sancho. Don't forget, you had the German football expert Christian Falk yesterday. He said that Jadon Sancho will leave Borussia Dortmund on 2 conditions, and that's if any club's willing to meet Borussia Dortmund's asking price, and that's if Jadon Sancho does force the move. Don't forget, Borussia Dortmund did recently say that they are losing their patience with Jadon Sancho, because he did recently get fined £8,000 for breaking lockdown rules. It was that haircut picture. Obviously, he's been our number one priority target for a while. Ole Gunnar Solsjaker, of course, recently had talks with Marcus Rashford regarding Jadon Sancho, because Rashford did say earlier on in the season that he wants Sancho at Man United next season. He wants Sancho at Man United next season, but Borussia Dortmund do remain ruthless over their valuation. They have said that they do want £115 million. Them stories were stemming from the Telegraph earlier on this week, and that. So, yeah. I think we still are emerged as the favourites to sign Jadon Sancho, and Jadon Sancho's already revealed that his preferred option would be a move to Manchester United if he does leave Borussia Dortmund in the summer transfer window and that. So there you go. Now let's delve into news on Aaron Ramsey from Juventus. So, according to recent reports, Juventus are willing to sell Aaron Ramsey after just 1 year. So reportedly now Aaron Ramsey is up for sale. And it does reportedly now say that Manchester United are interested in him. We have been in for Aaron Ramsey in recent months. But I'm very, very sceptical that we'll get Aaron Ramsey on the board, if I'm going to be quite honest with you, because his wages, could be the stumbling block of him coming to Manchester United, because obviously, Aaron Ramsey is on like 400 grand a week at Juventus, so I think he's Juventus' second highest paid player, just behind Cristiano Ronaldo. Got to make an admission, Aaron Ramsey's endured a very, very difficult time at Juventus. He has got a contract at Juventus until 2023. Of course, Juventus did get him on a free transfer last summer from Arsenal. Some Man United fans would take Aaron Ramsey, reflect on the good pedigree that he's got in the Premier League. He enjoyed 11 good years with Arsenal. Of course, Arsenal did pay around £5 million in from Cardiff in 2008 and that. And I think he made over 300 appearances for Arsenal in all competitions. Aaron Ramsey is predominantly a box-to-box midfielder, but you can play him on the left wing and you can also play him on the right wing, and he is in his late 20s, is Aaron Ramsey. Juventus have recruited quite a few players in on free transfers in recent years. They got Adrian Rabiot on a free transfer last summer. They also got Emre Can as well, but obviously Emre Can is now at Borussia Dortmund. So reportedly, Juventus are willing to offload the player, Aaron Ramsey in that. So that is the latest news on him. Now let's delve into some news on Ole Gunnar Solsjaker. So according to recent reports, Ole Gunnar Solsjaker will get a 1 million bonus if Manchester United can get a top 4 spot. So if Solskjaer can guide us to a top 4 finish, then he will get a 1 million bonus and that. And like I did say to the top 4 is a priority for us because obviously we do want qualification for the Champions League for next season. As it stands at the moment, we are just 3 points behind Chelsea. But I'm very, very convinced that we can get that top 4. Don't forget, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is on around, is it £7.5 million a year at Manchester United? So he's actually on less than half than what, Jose Mourinho was on, because Jose Mourinho was on around £15 million a year at the football club and that. Like I updated you yesterday, our transfer budget for the summer has been revealed. We are going to get around... Solskjaer's going to get around £269 million to spend in the summer transfer window. £269 million should be enough for us, to get the number of players that we want in, and it should be enough for us to get the right calibre players into the football club and that. Because reinforcements are needed, Solskjaer's looking to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer transfer window, because he believes we need around 3 or 4 signings to become title contenders next season. This is what, he does believe, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And obviously, Solskjaer's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. Obviously, he wants to recommend a right winger in, he wants to recommend a midfielder in, and he also wants to recommend a centre-half in. For a long, long time, we was in for a striker. But I think it said the other week that Solskjaer has decided to shelve the plans on signing a striker. The main explanations is because of Solskjaer wants to see how Mason Greenwood develops. Mason Greenwood's enjoyed a very, very good season. And plus, the other week, Odin Ighalo had extended his loan at the football club. As you all know, Ighalo's going to be here until the end of January 2021. So he's going to be staying at the football club for a further 7 months. And we paid just over £10 million to Shanghai Shenhua to extend his loan. Solskjaer, does want to continue the policy, by the way, of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United like he did do last summer and that. But the summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. But like I said to I think we can enjoy the perfect summer transfer window because obviously, a lot of our top rivals, will not even be in the summer transfer market. Probably Man City, they're not going to be in the summer transfer market, even though City have got a lot of money and Pep Guardiola spent a lot of money at Man City. But don't forget, City are banned from the Champions League for the next 2 years for breaking financial fair play rules. And back in February, City had been fined around £25 million for this. Liverpool, may not make any signings in the summer transfer window. Tottenham, Daniel Levy, he doesn't like to spend money. Arsenal may not make any signings either, so we need to take advantage of this. And, like I've mentioned on my recent videos, us and Chelsea are looking to make transfer moves, to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool and that. Got to make an admission, Chelsea have done very, very good business so far. Obviously, they got Hakim Ziyech in February from Ajax for around £38 million, or was it £37 million? It was one of them figures anyway. Obviously, they're on the verge of getting Timo Werner from RP Leipzig. It's very, very close now, by the way. Chelsea I think are going to get him for around 53 or 54 million. That's Timo Werner's release clause in his RP Leipzig contract, but he is a cheap solution because in reality, Werner's worth around 90 or 100 million pounds. So 53, 54 million cheap solution. Don't forget, it said the other week Chelsea had offered him a 5-year contract worth around £200,000 a week. But he's a good signing for Chelsea because obviously, Chelsea were in search for a striker because the only fit striker they've got at the moment is Olivier Giroud and all of that. So it's looking like that's going to be Frank Lampard's second signing as Chelsea manager and Chelsea's second signing for the summer transfer window. Also too, Ben Chilwell, he's their number one priority target. He's from Leicester and he's a left back, he's Ben Chilwell. Don't forget, Chelsea recruited a few players in from Leicester. They got N'Golo Kante from Leicester and they also got Danny Drinkwater from Leicester. Don't forget, it recently said that Chelsea are leading the race for Kai Havertz. Chelsea submitted around the £75 million bidding recently for Kai Havertz and that. So Chelsea, are doing very, very well in that. But revert back to what I said, we've got to take advantage in this summer transfer window and that. We really, really have. Obviously, Ed Woodward, he did say the other month that, Man United will remain competitive in the summer transfer market. But don't forget, he did say that, we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market. So basically ruled out big transfers to Manchester United. Don't forget, there was stories coming out the other week saying that we'd taken a £140 million loan from our £150 million revolving credit facility to help us through the coronavirus crisis and to help us get the right calibre players into the football club. As you all know, at the moment, our net debt is around 429 million or just over 429 million pounds. That got confirmed quite a few weeks ago. So our debt had risen up by almost 130 million pounds in that. But as you all know, Solsjaker has got the backing of Ed Woodward for the summer transfer window because Ed Woodward has said on quite a few occasions he is willing to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And he has also assured that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe. Despite that, earlier on in the season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season for 30 years and that. Also, too, Solskjaer's got the backing of the Glazers and that. He's also got the backing of them. And, there's still a lot of United fans that are determined to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and that, United fans have got different verdicts on it, Some United fans think Solskjaer's a foreseeable future for Manchester United. And some United fans don't think he's the right manager, to get us back to where we want to be. Some United fans think we need a manager in, who would suit the strappings of the club. And, or we need a manager at the top level, such as a Jurgen Klopp or a Pep Guardiola and that. But I'll stick to what I said, Solskjaer does deserve at least another season and he does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows and that because, like I mentioned, it's a transition period and it has been a transition period for quite some time. Solskjaer did reveal at the beginning of the year he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period in that. We know that Solskjaer is going to be here next season, and like I mentioned on my recent videos, next season is the real test for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And Solskjaer knows next season he's going to have, a lot of expectations to exceed in that. But like I said, we have got quite a few priorities. Like I mentioned, the top four is a priority for us for the remainder of this season. Also, to the FA Cup and the Europa League, they're two priorities for us because that's a chance for us getting some silverware on the board under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We are into the last eight of the FA Cup. We are into the last eight of the Europa League. And we've got Norwich in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, by the way. If we could win both of them, or at least one of them, it would be a memorable first full season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Of course, at the moment, Solskjaer's been at the football club a year and a half. That's including the 3 months when he was the interim manager. I think he's been permanent Manchester United manager for around 15 months. Of course, when Solskjaer did get the job permanently, he signed a 3-year contract. The main explanation why he got the job permanently was reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager in that. But I think as it stands now, Solskjaer's got around 2 years left on his contract at Manchester United. But like I said, Man United are looking to sign players in the image of Solskjaer and his coaching staff. Don't forget Solskjaer, didn't he say earlier on this week that he will avoid buying rotten apples in the squad? He will avoid buying rotten apples in the squad. So he basically warned our players, did Solskjaer recently, that he will not tolerate any rotten apples in the squad and that. But like I said, there's big decisions to be made in the summer transfer window, of what players Solskjaer is going to recommend in, and of course what players Solskjaer is going to get rid of. Because of course he's going to get rid of players in the summer transfer window. He's going to get rid of more of the deadwood. And, with us getting rid of players in the summer transfer window, we are going to generate money that way, we're going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window, maybe even more. I do expect us to get rid of Phil Jones. I expect us to get rid of Rojo. I expect us to get rid of Chris Smalling. I expect us to get rid of, Sanchez permanently as well, because obviously, at the moment, Rojo's out on loan at Estudiantes, Smalling's out on loan with Roma, and Sanchez is out on loan at Inter Milan. It'd be good if we could get rid of Sanchez permanently because it would free up our wage bill completely in that. By the looks of things at the moment, it's looking very, very likely that Angel Gomez is going to be leaving the football club because there is no signs of Angel Gomez signing a new contract at Manchester United. And we have put forward quite a few contract offers for Angel Gomez, But I think he's just got strong reservations about getting into the first team as Angel Gomez, if I am going to be quite honest with you, because Angel Gomez has only made 6 first team appearances for the club this season and only 10 in total since he broke into the senior squad and that. Jesse Lingard and Andres Pereira, I also expect Manchester United to get rid of them as well. The news regarding Dean Henderson. We will allow Dean Henderson to remain on loan with Sheffield United for the remainder of the season. I think Dean Henderson's been Sheffield United's player of the season, to be quite honest with you. This has been his second season on loan with Sheffield United. I think Dean Henderson's still got a contract with us until 2022. I don't think we're going to get rid of Dean Henderson permanently because obviously, we do see him as the foreseeable future for Man United, and we see him as a long-term replacement for David De Gea, Dean Henderson. Of course, David De Gea is going to remain our number one goalkeeper for now. He has been our number one goalkeeper for several years. So, yeah, we are going to get rid of, players in the summer transfer window, but Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into the football club. I think we have seen a total of 19 players leave Man United since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended in, So there you go. And there you go and that. Like I said though, these decisions that Manchester United have got to make, before the football season resumes, maybe there's decisions we've got to make ahead of next season as well. We've got a bit of a dilemma at left back, who's going to be our first choice left back? Is Luke Shaw going to remain our first choice left back, or is Brandon Williams going to become our first choice left back? I think for now Luke Shaw will remain our first choice left back because, Luke Shaw's more experienced than Brandon Williams. Of course, I think, it will be still Lindelof alongside Maguire in our back line. And, they have built a fantastic centre-back partnership. I know that Lindelof now is facing competition from Bay into Anzebe because they're also now back. We've got to make a decision on what's happening with Angel Gomez, and all of that. Odin Igalo, like I said, he's enjoyed a good start to his Manchester United career because before the football season got suspended, he was doing really, really well with Igalo. But now his starts could be limited because obviously, now Marcus Rashford is back. Delors, he's been subjected to some transfer speculation. Solskjaer's determined to keep Delors though, because reports were saying a few weeks ago that Barcelona and PSG were interested in Diego Delors now. But there you go. Like I mentioned to you yesterday, Man United played in 2 friendlies against West Brom. Of course, we lost the first one by 2-1, but we got revenge in the second one and won by 3-1. I think actually, Bruno Fernandes got his name on the score sheet and also did miss a penalty in that game. There has been a few practice matches that have been happening. You saw Liverpool beat Blackburn recently 6-0. Arsenal lost to Brentford earlier on this week. So there's been quite a few practice matches going on. I think also too Norwich did beat Tottenham recently as well. But there you go. Of course, the football season is resuming on Wednesday, the 17th of June. Obviously, it's Manchester City against Arsenal, and I think it's Sheffield United against Aston Villa. Obviously, we play Tottenham next Friday, the 19th of June. Really, really looking forward to that game against Tottenham. Like I mentioned, I'm very, very convinced that Man United can win that game against Tottenham. Obviously, Solskjaer and Jose Mourinho going head-to-head yet again. Solskjaer, is already overcome Jose Mourinho once this season because we beat Tottenham by 2-1 earlier on this season. So Solskjaer's looking to beat Jose Mourinho for the second time as a manager, and he's looking to beat Tottenham for the third time as a manager because since Solskjaer got recommended in, I think he has beaten Tottenham twice as a manager in that, But I think, Solskjaer, has got an idea, of how he's going to approach that game against Tottenham, of what, 11 he's going to go with. I've got a great idea, what 11 he's going to go with. And I think now Solskjaer knows he's best 11. I've already given you my starting 11 prediction for the game against Tottenham next Friday. Also, too, I think I've got an idea, of what his new formation's going to be. There's a few formations to choose from, on a regular basis this season. Solskjaer has been going with that 4-2-3-1 formation. Few times he has gone with a 4-3-3. In the games against the likes of Chelsea and Manchester City, I think Solskjaer went with a 5-3-2. We looked actually, very expansive with that formation, but we also looked very, very good with the 3-5-2 formation. We really, really did in that. But I'm very, very confident, we can beat Tottenham. And, I think we'll continue where we left off. Well, I'm hopeful, that we can continue where we left off because before the football season got suspended, we was in a good vein of form. We are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. In these 9 games to play in the Premier League, there's 92 games to play in all competitions in that. And, the football season's been suspended for a good, 12 weeks now, 3 months it's been suspended because it did get suspended on the 13th of March. We was supposed to be playing Tottenham on the 15th of March, but obviously, due to lockdown and that, the game could not go ahead. It could not go ahead. But like I've said to my recent videos, these things that I'm really, really looking forward to, I'm looking forward, to Rashford, playing again, now Rashford is back from his back injury. And like I did say, overall, Rashford is one of our best players, and I think he was one of our best players earlier on in the season before he sustained that back injury in that. I think definitely Rashford's a foreseeable future for Man United, and obviously, up until this point, so far, he's spent the entirety of his career with the football club. We may actually, put Rashford centrally, or, he could play out wide because he can play in either of them positions. Actually, it's Martial that's been playing in that central position this season. But actually, Martial predominantly plays out wide on the left. But he has been our number 9 throughout the course of this season as Anthony Martial. I'm looking forward to seeing him in action as well, because he's been in a really, really good vein of form under Solskjaer as Anthony Martial. Martial, of course, now is into his 5th season at Manchester United. I think one of the best seasons he enjoyed was his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Also, looking forward to Pogba, being back. Pogba is now back from his ankle injury, which is very, very good news. Paul Pogba did play alongside Bruno Fernandes for the first time yesterday in that. I think, that partnership will work out between Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. Don't forget, around 3 days ago, Solsjaker confirmed that Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes' positions have been changed. They have been changed. Paul Pogba, of course, is going to be our number 10. But quite a few times during Paul Pogba's career, he has operated in that number 10. So that means he'll be playing just behind the central striker and playing just in front of Bruno Fernandes in that. That means Bruno Fernandes will be in the number 8, but some United fans have got different verdicts on this. Some United fans have put Fernandes in the number 10 because that's his predominant position and that's where he seems to be more effective, and they'd put Paul Pogba in the number 6 or the number 8. But I did say, didn't I, our first choice midfield trio will be Pogba, Bruno Fernandes and McTominay. Like I said, I've been very, very impressed with Scott McTominay throughout the course of this season. Fred, I've also been very, very impressed with Fred. I think he's enjoyed an exceptional season under Ole Gunnar Solsjaker. I think Fred will play instead of one of them so often. Matic may get his chances as well, but I think now the Nemanja Matic could drop more to the bench now, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Also looking forward to going to Tottenham's new ground because, we've not yet played at Tottenham's new ground. This is our first time at Tottenham's new ground. I think Tottenham did pay around £1 billion for their stadium. I still think, they are paying it off now, if I am correct. But yeah, I think, we will beat Tottenham because, Tottenham have enjoyed a very, very difficult season and they was in a bad vein of form, before the football season got suspended. The good news is from a Tottenham perspective, that they've obviously got Harry Kane now back because he did sustain a hamstring injury in January. They've also got Heung-min Son back. The negative is from a Tottenham perspective, that Dele Alli will be missing the game next Friday because he'd been given a 1-game suspension from the FA from them offensive coronavirus social media posts, and Dele Alli had got fined around £50,000. So he's going to obviously be missing the game and that. And what I said in regards to Tottenham, I think they made a bad mistake by recommending Jose Mourinho in because, like I've said to Jose Mourinho has passed his sell-by date. He's no longer a manager at the top level. He has got a good pedigree behind him, Jose Mourinho. Reflects on the amount of silverware he has won and that. I think he has won around 25 major honours so far during his managerial career. But I think, a lot of Tottenham fans are very, very critical of Jose Mourinho. But to be fair, when he first got recommended into Tottenham, he actually, did very, very well. But Tottenham, made a bad mistake by getting rid of Mauricio Pochettino. Of course, Pochettino endured 5.5 years with Tottenham. Tottenham did sack Pochettino last year. Like I said, Tottenham have made a few signings, since Mourinho got recommended in. They did get Jedson Fernandes in. They got Steven Bergwijn in. They got Giovanni Lo Celso permanently. There's other players that they've recruited in recent years who I think Pochettino brought in. Obviously, they got Tanguy Ndombele. Didn't they get him last year from Lyon? Their most expensive signing, now one of their most expensive signings. They also got Ryan Sessegnon, Serge Aurier. They got Davinson Sanchez quite a few years ago as well, did Tottenham. So to be fair, they have recruited, quite a few good players in. They did lose Christian Eriksen in January to Inter Milan, and they also lost Danny Rose to Newcastle, did Tottenham. But I think, Tottenham have been dominant before, during their time under Mauricio Pochettino, they were competing in and out of the top 4. I think the closest Tottenham came to winning the league was obviously, the season when Leicester, of course, won it and that. I think our first home game when the season resumes is Sheffield United. Like I said, we have got Norwich in the quarterfinals of their FA Cup and that. There you go. But really, really looking forward to the football season resuming. I really, really am. Like I've said to you, I've seen improvements under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like I said, I think players in general have improved. I also think, the top players have improved. We've definitely improved in the transfer market under Solskjaer. What I mean is, Solskjaer's got the players that I wanted to recommend in to the football club. Because so far Solskjaer's recommended 5 players into Manchester United and spent just over £200 million. And he brought in 5 players in the last 2 transfer windows because in his first transfer window, Solskjaer didn't recommend anyone in that. The last summer he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in, and in January he brought Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo in that. So I've definitely seen improvements under him. Solskjaer's changed things as well because before the football season got suspended, Solskjaer was talking about what has changed at Manchester United since he replaced Jose Mourinho back in December 2018 and that. And Solskjaer, to be fair, has made a lot of Mourinho's players better because analysing the vast majority of this team, it is Jose Mourinho's because Jose Mourinho, did recommend 11 players into Manchester United and that. And there's only a few players that have left who Jose Mourinho brought in. Jose Mourinho did endure 2.5 years with us, did win the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season, and did get a second place in his first season. But I've already given you the main explanations, why it didn't work out under Jose Mourinho and that. But yeah, like I said, we haven't dominated English football since the Alex Ferguson era. Of course, Alex Ferguson endured, 26, 27 years at Manchester United. And obviously, the vast majority of our success came under Alex Ferguson. We won a total of 38 major honours under Ferguson. He developed a lot of young players. We was always competitive in the summer transfer markets and that. But don't forget, Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Manchester United and that. But it doesn't matter who our manager is. No one's going to ever replicate Ferguson's legacy. No one's going to ever last as long as Alex Ferguson did and that. But this is probably, the main explanation, why we're going to get around £269 million to spend, to get us back to where we want to be. Because, we have been playing catch-up for the last 7 years or so. We've had different managers with different philosophies. We spent close to the £1 billion range on players in the last 7 years. And we've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era and that. But I'm hopeful, Solskjaer can get us back, to where we want to be. But I'm not too sure yet. I'm really, really not. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always and take care. God bless and I'll see you all again very, very soon.